Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself, Southside, on the show is backed by popular demand. We have AK and the drum chapel musician, my big mate Stevie for the drum. How are you guys?
Evening Southside, evening Big Stevie, evening Rangers Radio listeners.
Right, it's Dream Team Wednesday, folks. You know what that means? Plenty of abuse for the panellists. Good evening.
The big station serving the nation.
Yes, that's correct. Indeed we are, and a free platform at that, yes.
Yep, totally free, no adverts during the tours. You might not always agree with what we say, but totally free if you want to phone in, then we'll call you back. Doesn't cost you a penny. AK?
Aye, bang on guys, well said. That's what it's there for, best Rangers platform and social media. Let's get yous in the night and talk about the Rangers.
Well, what's been happening with you, big man? Stevie boy?
I think we should start off with the breaking transfer news. I'm sorry to see Port Bear go. I really am. I hope the boy does well with his chain of sunbed shops. I hear he's got to open up. Well, the best. I wish him all the best. Port Bear will be missed on the channel. And when he's ready to come back, he's head straight, no problem. Get him back on. Brilliant.
Aye, I was shocked to hear that today. He's taken a bit of time out and he's left, but hopefully he'll be back in time if that's what he feels like doing. So aye, he's been good for the show, mate. He's had a good laugh. He enjoyed the banter, AK. So aye, hopefully we'll see him back at some point soon if that's what happens.
Aye, definitely. Aye, all the best to you, Port, if you're listening in, pal. And enjoyed sharing some shows with you, and all the best for the future. But if you top up your electricity bills, the sunbeds are murder for that running down.
Yeah, he's for the Port. He'll have one of the things. He'll be rigging the meter in that house. You kidding me on? You know, he's like, anyway, we'll be gate crashing them anyway, Stevie, down in the Port. If Rangers are playing at Capel, I think we'll just go down and gate crash them this time, since we've had a couple of invites and we've never been round, so we can do that next time. But talking about gate crashing, big Cyril Dessers decides to stay with the famous Glasgow Rangers and doesn't fancy a trip to the MLS, Stevie.
Aye, I heard that today. $6 million. The deal was meant to be for, and the big man wasn't up for it at all. Fair play to him, by the way, knocking it back. At least he wants to stay with the Rangers. No, like some players that want to leave us. Fair play to the big man.
Aye, I don't know if it's 100%. I take it Philip Clement will get probably asked about it tomorrow, but the person that's broke the story, AK, and said Rangers had accepted about £4.5 million. But whether he doesn't fancy going there, the league or whatever, or he's happy where he is, he's decided to close the door on the movie.
Aye, well, I'm kind of with you there. He's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know what? When he's wearing their shirt and he's giving his all, I mean, he's played 5 games this season, scored 3, got an assist. I know it's only the start of the season, but if he can carry that on into the rest of the season, then fair enough. As Stevie says there, at least he's shown a bit of commitment to the club. The same with the Gaffer with the year extension as well. It'd be very easy for them to just, go away to pastures new and forget what's happening here. But the two of them are willing to, dig into the trenches for the cause of the club. So good on them. But hopefully we're looking to move other players out, and Dessers is probably doing that list now, where we're looking to move him on, that's for sure.
Would it have been wise, Stevie, to have, if he had accepted it, knowing where we are in the striking department and how hard it is to get somebody in and hit the ground running? It's all right saying we'll get somebody in that will score goals and he's better, but you know what it's like, depending on where they come from, what country or what league. And our usual problem, are they fit enough to start? with the next sort of games coming up, is it better that he probably stayed? Because we probably need him. He's the best striker we've got at the moment. No matter what you think of him, he is the one that's the best striker at the club now. He's the only one that's proved it.
Well, I think you've just answered it. He's 100% the best on-form striker that we've got at the club now, and I think it would have been suicidal to get rid of the big man. I'm going to say that without somebody else being brought in. 100%. I'm glad the big man wants to stay, and I'm glad he wants to fight, and he wants to stay with us, and that's the main thing for me. But what we've got to remember is this is only rumourville, by the way, until we actually hear it coming out Big Clement's mouth, maybe in a presser, you know. And no, it's came from a good source, right enough, but it's good to know that Big Desser's after everything, all the morning. I mean, even against Dino Kiev and that, the bit that he done on the park with the crowd and everything, he's doing it because he cares. It's because he cares. The big man's wanting to do well. You can see he's trying. And by the way, he's mentally a Rangers player because the abuse the big man's had, and he's still there. He shrugs it off and gets on with it. That's the mental. That's what we need for Rangers players: the mental and physical side of the game. The big man's right on about it, and I'm glad he stayed and not knocked it back at all.
I said that on here a number of weeks back, AK, that I think he had the mental attitude when he came in. You can see he wasn't overawed. Some players come in, take a bit of time to settle on that, but he seemed to take it straight away. Forgetting how his performances were, just the fact that Stevie's alluded to, the stick that he's took, criticism he's took, some rightly so. But he knows he was getting a lot of stick. And I seen the gesture. I wasn't sure at the time when I seen it, whether it was to try and get the crowd to sing a bit louder or whatever, or whether it was against the support. I was undecided, Stevie, on that, but I seen it happening. That aside, I think he has shown the mental toughness, AK, that he just gets on with it. He believes he will score goals. He might miss a few chances, but saying that, since the start of the season, he's been pretty clinical.
Aye, as you say, everything you said there is fact, you know. And is he the best striker we've ever had? No, but he's the best striker that we've got to now. So we're having to lean on him very, very heavily, and we had to lean on him last year very heavily as well. His numbers weren't that bad, but obviously because we're coming away with only one trophy when we could have had three. That's where the criticism comes, and obviously the missed opportunities. But let's not forget, he actually scored in an Old Firm game. He scored in Betis, big goals. And you look at the likes of Morelos, who was adored for the 6 years he was at the club. How long did it take him to score a goal in an Old Firm game? I think his record was 2 goals in about 28 games. You know, so there's that pales into insignificance for me. So no, good on them. As I say, or Stevie says, it's good to see Rangers players with a bit of commitment for the cause. The team, it would be very easy for them to say, nah, stuff this, I'm away. Pick up your money and go to an easier life in America. Clement could have done that as well. You know, Gio's done it before him and walked away. But the gaffers basically told you he's all in. Clement, Neil's copping, the board, whether we like them or whether no. I think they're all in for the future, and we just need to get used to it and try and get together and be a bit of unity in the club for a change, a bit of positivity, and let's go forward together, because that's what we're going to need.
Aye, we certainly need everybody to try and unite together. Listen, there's a lot who's pissed off with certain things about the club, right, and where we are in Hampden and everything, but at the end of the day, we're only 3 league games in, and we've dropped 2 points, and that's been it. And we're trying to build, and there's plenty of sort of rumours floating about. I've seen and heard that we're still trying to get players and that. So we're just got to hope by the time the transfer window shuts, Stevie, that we've got a few additions in, and I think we'll definitely get rid of 2 or 3 before the window. I think somebody will come in for Cantwell, might be near the end of the transfer window, and I think Hadji will move, and Aubrey looks at it, I think he will move. And I believe they'll probably get rid of 1 or 2 others, maybe even a couple of boys out on loan. But I think we'll have movement, Stevie. I do believe that.
Aye. Well, there's rumour today we're interested in a couple of wingers, one for Benfica. I can't mind what the other man was said for. But again, it's only rumourville, you know. But I mean, the good thing is that you're hearing that they're actually looking, and the Croatian defender seems to keep cropping up again, doesn't it? So, I mean, there is people getting spoke about, but I think we've got to make sure we get rid of a few of these bodies first. I mean, I don't know what the situation with Hadji is. I don't know what Cantwell's situation is, if anybody's interested. But it'll go fast. It'll just happen. 1 minute it'll be stale, and then the next minute, bump, and 2 or 3 players will be away, and there'll be guys sitting in the wings waiting to come in. So, well, I mean, we've got many days now at the end to take shots. Is it Saturday it shots, or is it Sunday?
1st of September.
Well, we've got to the end, so plenty of time for things to happen. But as far as, you know, everybody, Hampden and all our situation with the board and all the rest of it, guys, I said it in last week's show, we've just got to draw a line and support what's on the part the best we can. That's all we can do. That's the only thing we can do as Rangers fans. We're not on the board. We're never going to get to know what the whole truth is or the whole situation is. We're only taking bit parts out of things and listen to rumourville and all the rest of it. So the best thing we can do as Rangers fans is just get behind them. And I know there was a couple of comments on Facebook moaning about me saying get behind the team all the time. But what else can you do, guys? What else can we do? Just sit and moan and greet and grout. Just get out, buy tickets, support the team, buy the merch, support the team. Do whatever you can do as a Rangers fan. Everybody's in different situations, I get that. But the bottom line is draw the line. We know what's happening. Clamont's horns are tied a wee bit. Some of his tactics, yep, people have got every right to say what they're saying about some of his tactics. I was shaking my head with some of them, how Tom Lawrence stayed the part against Kiev so long and all the rest of it. But the bottom line is, mate, guys, we just need to go on with it. We just need to dig our heels in and support the team.
Aye, everybody's probably looking at the negatives because there's plenty there to look at from time to time. But like you say, you've got to support the team. It's the team we love and it's the team that we support when we want the best for them. And the thing is, that's what probably causes the arguments at times, AK. And it does on here sometimes because we just want the best for the club, but it's good that we've got different opinions and we can express them.
Absolutely.
For the moment, anyway.
Aye, absolutely. I mean, anybody that listened to the show last night, listening to Albert and wee Andy for Leeds slugging it out in a verbal boxing match, it was brilliant listening, and I think everybody enjoyed it. It was done in a respectful manner. Both of them had valid points. There's no doubt about it. Andy, I think, won it on the feet, but I'm sure Albert will come away there kind of holding his own as well. But that's what it's all about. We care about the club. We care about the direction of the club. Are we happy about what we're seeing, what we're watching? No, of course we're not. But that doesn't make us happy clappers or happy to settle for second best or anything. It's just that I think we need to try and understand the way the club is and the financial restraints that they were having to work under. Come on, I mean, how many times do we see it in the past? We give a manager a war chest, you know, to go and get his own players and bring in who he can't do that. This is different times now, and it's obviously it's hamstringing Clamont's choices of players who he wants suit, but he can't bring anybody in until he gets players out. I've never known this to be as kind of serious a situation as what we're in now, with players just digging their heels because of the lengthy, expensive contracts. That's down to mismanagement and stuff. But you look at Tavernier, for an example. He's been at the club 9 years, right? He's had 7 managers in 9 years. We've had umpteen changes in the directors. We've had 2 chairmen, 2 CEOs, 2 director of football, umpteen changes in personnel. It's only Tavernier and Wright that's left out the team that took the field in Seville just over 2 years ago. So we're constantly looking for changes in the manager, on the playing staff, in the boardroom. Well, I tell you, we're getting all the changes, but we need stability. We need unity to go forward, and hopefully Clement will bring that.
We've got to show faith in the manager as the board does, and we know he can win leagues. I said on here, he'd probably need 3 transfer windows, in my eyes, to get the actual team and players, because you're only going to build this whole project in this one close season. So I thought over a period of 3 windows, Stevie, he would probably get the vast majority of the players he would probably need, if not all, by then.
Oh, certainly will. Can I just get back to what Alec was saying there about Tav? How many games is that now Southside he's played in the bounce?
That's all right. You've got to the game against them. You're all right.
So I'm going to sing It's Just Another Tequila Sunrise.
See, the thing about it was, right, see, when I thought about it, right, he is getting dropped for Sterling, right, but if we'd been playing the night, which I'd hoped to would have been, then I might have thought that he might have dropped him on Saturday there against St Johnstone if we'd been playing the night, right? And then also he might have been dropped, or he could have been dropped if he played the 2 games. He might have got dropped against Ross County for rest for the return game. So that was in my thoughts. The fact that we're not playing a game tonight,
right? I see.
Gave him a week's rest every time, you know.
I see.
You get my theory? Do you get my logic?
Yes, I'm getting your logic, but a yes or no question. Will you be giving Big Stevie a bottle of tequila, Rose, because you got it wrong? Yes.
Well, I will obviously have to when it comes the 1st of September, but I would quite happily put Sterling at right back in the 1st of September and put him on the bench. That wouldn't bother me. So I've still got that option, and if Big Clement thinks the same way.
Not a problem. Listen, you bring a bottle of tequila, Rose.
That's all right.
Anyway.
Me and you'll drink it.
Stevie, he's reversed in there worse than a council lorry coming out the street.
It's no, listen, I'm just hoping that we'll be producing a litre of vodka, you know, so we've still got a couple of games yet, so you never know. Yes. Don't get carried away, mate. Don't get carried away.
No, well, I was going to say, I'm the kind of man that would give you a choice of vodka, whether you like Grey Goose or whether you like Smirnoff or Glen's. It's entirely up to you.
No, that third one's... no, I'm not having any of that. I would take Absolute before that.
All right. Well,
but Grey Goose probably sounds all right, aye.
That's the dearest one out of them all. You're a wido, you, so yeah. But listen, you're totally, listen, he's a captain, and that's the only thing that saved my bacon. If he wasn't the captain, I would then say probably would have got dropped Southside. But he's no going to drop his captain. No chance. No way. And it's
He will. He'll rest him. He'll drop him over a period of time, or he'll rest him. He will. He will. He's playing the games now because Sterling's needed as cover for the midfield, right? When he's on the bench, he's cover because that's where he's going on the park when he comes on, right? He's in the games that he's used him because he's not got anybody else, or he might have tried to use Kieran Dowell but he's always come on after Sterling, so that's the reason why Sterling's going to the park, because he needs cover in the midfield now because he doesn't have anybody with strength and that sort of physique and power in there to put in. So that's what he's done in the games. And I thought if we go by Kiev and we've got the next tie, Tav would have got dropped for any one of the 2 games either side of a European game to give him a rest and or drop him, just take him out the team.
More chance of Port Bear falling in the night than you have dropping Tav here for this party.
But Tav will come out the team at some point, believe me. He will.
He will, but long as I win my bottle of tequila,
would you be happy? Well, I'll put this to you right now. I know we're jumping ahead of a game, right? But if he plays on Saturday, Tav, and I know it's a big call, you'd be dropping your captain, get up there, a guy with experience, but if he put Sterling in at right back, would you be bothered? Would you be bothered? Would you be more happy that he was in there? Do you think he'd do a better job?
Listen, listen, there's no two ways about it. I'm in a kind of win-win at the fact that Sterling was bought for that position. So, yes, big and strong, it's going to make life harder, innit? So, in the defence. But I still think play him as a number 6. We corner, would you call him? Diamante, the young boy. Aye, Connor Barnes. So that would be my midfield, right? But that some people might say that they don't like that midfield, but I'd be playing Diamante up where Tom Lawrence is, because Tom Lawrence just has to get the legs. Half an hour into the game, he's breathing through his end. So that for me, if Sterling was in the defence, gone to the Chamber of Secrets, it wouldn't bother me at all, really, wouldn't it?
See, everybody wants to push Diamante up one, right? And aye, he's sort of playing with his back to goal. His strength is picking the ball up. I like to run about the halfway line or a wee bit deeper. He gets you up the park. I know at times he's no done so well, but on the whole, think back to the games that he's played, how many times he's actually got the ball a bit deeper and took it up the park. You know, and that's what we need. Need somebody to pick it up deep and take that ball up the park.
Aye, you're right. You're right. I agree with you there. But I've said before, though, watching him, his original club, Northland, he played a left-sided role, a wide role, and I would say probably a 4-3-3 they played. Could we not go to that sort of system to get the best out of him? And let's not forget, you've got Raskin there to come back, and I think Raskin played the advanced role with the Belgium under 23, so he's a potential to come back into a team. You've got Sterling there. The only thing with Sterling now, I'm a wee bit concerned about his fitness. I don't know about you guys. I know it doesn't seem to be playing that many 90-minute games in a row now, and that is a concern. It's a wee bit like Danilo situation. Obviously, he's coming back for a really bad injury, but we don't want to be getting into like a Roof situation again, or a Ryan Jack situation again, where the guys are only giving you so many games a season. If you want to tip your hat to Connor Ghost and James Tavernier, the games that they played and the duration of games consistently available for selection. It's the same as Big Dessers. You go to tip your hat there, I know. They guys, you need at least, I would say, at least 8 or more to be available every single game, and then you can rotate with the other ones. It's when your guys are breaking down, or they can only give you an hour, or they can only and listen to a medical team, and geez, Clement must be scratching his head going, what chance have I got here? You know what I mean? With the current personnel that he's got, that's the concerns that I've got about the squad now. So I think we were all hoping that we did see fresh faces in the building now, but as I say, that some of the players must be digging their heels on their contract and they're not moving for less money. So it is going to be discussions, I think, between the agents and the board, and see if we can come sort of compromise to move these guys out and let Clement get his own players in.
Clubs have got to want you, Stevie. So, and then they'll obviously be looking at the situation. If you take Todd Cantwell, for example, listen, Todd Cantwell is a good player. When he's switched on, he's a good player. Be bit of a maverick type, where he can go and just go in a wee mazy run, and he sort of plays for himself a wee bit. But at the same time, you can see when he falls out of games and he's not in it, or he's a wee bit hot-headed and he's had some mad tackles he's fallen into and that. So he's still, sometimes I looked at him and I thought, you're still a wee bit maybe immature at times, you know. But on his game, he's a good player, and maybe teams would maybe build a sort of team round about him. But for us now, I think the fact that he's put in the transfer request, clubs now know that they can sort of come in. I think, honestly, Todd Cantwell, we should have easily got £2.5 to £3 million for. If somebody was coming in and they hadn't put in the transfer request and somebody wanted them, I think that would have been a reasonable offer. Might have got more, but realistically, I would have thought £2.5 to £3 million.
I agree with you on the figures there. You could possibly get more than them. Look, Todd Cantwell had potential to choke a horse, right? But he's got this personality where it's all about him. I mean, I've no doubt the big one sat him down and said to him at some point, you need to stay off this social media. That's outside noise you can be doing without. On there arguing with Chris Sutton and all that big doolally dumpling that he is. And he needs to grow up a wee bit Southside. But see, when him wanting away, he'll never ever, I hope he never ever see the boy again. It's done. See when you come that part with us, the Rangers fans, and you turn your back on us like that, that's it done for me. It's done, that ship sailed for me. I hope he can get him out the door and let Big Phil get one of his own guys in that's going to want to play for him, like Deserts wants to play for us. Aye, all right, he's no my first choice striker if he can get somebody else in, but at least he wants to play for us. Cantwell doesn't he? Cantwell flung his toys out the pram and you need broad shoulders to play with Glasgow Rangers, and he's just no liked what the supporters told him, and he's wanted away and that's it. And I hope he gets away, because I'll tell you what, everywhere he goes it'll be a step down for the Glasgow Rangers, that's for sure.
I think things goalposts have moved from AK. I think the fact that when he came in under Michael Beale, he was sort of giving them the freedom, as we've seen, to go and sort of pick the ball up in certain areas and sort of be a bit undisciplined, maybe you could say, or in that style that Michael Beale was playing with the two sort of in. Then it gave him that maybe more freedom. But at the end of the day, you come in the following season, you get a different manager playing slightly, and that seems to be an issue. I'll maybe come up with something with that later. A different style again for him, and more disciplined. And listen, you either knuckle down and you do it, or you try and get him into the position. We got him into the number 10 position where he wanted to go eventually, and then for whatever reasons he wants to leave. So hopefully a club in England, I think, is probably the best bet that will come in from. And then we'll see what we can get in a transfer fee. But I think they might be maybe late on the transfer window, maybe before somebody comes in for him. No, try and get him for a bit of a steal.
Aye, well, Michael Beale done an interview there during the week, didn't he? I don't know if you've heard it, guys, but he said that he got Cantwell in a free transfer, but it's the wages that he would come in at. Certainly, he would be, I would be guessing, at least 25 to 30, if no more. A week, and if you've got that sort of asset sitting there doing nothing, then it's just draining the coffers and you're not getting a return on your money. Hadji's pretty similar, but the Cantwell, it's frustration for everybody. I think when he signed with Beale, you look at our forward line then. I mean, I remember the 3-0 game at Ibrox with Matondo and Sakala, and I think Morelos was up there as well. You Cholak, with far better options. It's a different strategy. It's a different formula that we're playing now. And maybe he's not getting the free role that he wants to play. Clement's got his own ideas. We've seen that. He's big on discipline. And it's no suiting now. But there is ways and means to carry yourself, as Big Stevie's intimated. And the way he's carrying on isn't the Rangers way. We don't want to see that. We just want to move him on and as quickly as possible.
He's talking in the park, AK. That's what we're wanting him to do. Stay off and do the business on the park. That's what all we want to do. And then see, once you're winning trophies, and then you have a bit of swagger at the end of the season and say a wee butter Bob, you use your heat with it, you be cute with it. You don't do what he's doing. He's talking before games and he's just making himself and the team look stupid. Can you tell me now, do you agree with me? Do you not think Big Paul sat him down and said, stay off social media, and he's went back onto it and he's warned them time and time again? I think that's what's happened. And that's how he does the him. He's no falling in line with the rest of the troops.
Yep, I agree.
He's probably had issues from time to time, and at the end of the day, for whatever's in his head and where he wants to go, fine. I mean, he's had some no bad games. Like I said, he's got a talent. That's how you use it consistently. He might find a team where he might go and have a purple patch and he might do well, and then we'll see what happens for there. But once he leaves Rangers, I'm not interested in anybody that leaves Rangers and following him. if I see them on the news or I see a game of football and they're on it and I'm watching it, fine, but I'll not be interested, Stevie, after it, he's gone. But I think we'll open the phone lines because we've been gabbing enough, so I think if you two use a second, if that's all right with you guys, I think we'll get them open, so let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Nico Raskin, Stevie, I'm hoping that we're back in contention really soon. I don't know how far away he is. It was a bad tackle that day against Ajax, but he's been out with a few injuries, but I'd like to think that he can try and fight his way into this team. And I think the only way he'll probably get a regular game unless he hits a bit of form, and unfortunately the curse hits us and we might have an injury, or he moves Diamondi up and he comes into the midfield. I think he's got something. I just think he needs a run of games, but I think we would be better as a team in a 3 than in the 2-1 with the one number 10. So I think if we played Diamondi, Raskin and Barron in a 3 and we played 3 forwards, as in 2 wingers and a striker, and went back to a 4-3-3, I think we'd have a better balance and a better midfield than having the 2 with the 10 at the moment.
Well, there's a thing, right? You're talking about Raskin playing the holding midfielder there, aren't you? Do you know how he's...
I'm not worried. No, you can stick. Well, whatever. You could even play him up.
But do you know how
Barron could sit in the middle if you want. Raskin could sit slightly right. You've got Diamondi slightly left. Or if you switch Raskin and Barron, and even when one goes, even 2 of them can go as 2 8s. No, and then you've got your 2 wingers, and then you've got your striker. So when we hit the ball out wide and it's gone to Czerny, if he's not coming inside to have a shot and he's about to put the ball in, when that ball comes in, it's not just Dessers that's in there. We'll have Barron and Raskin, or Diamondi and Barron or Raskin, whatever way you do it, hopefully push 2 that will get to at least the edge of the box.
Right, can I say something about Raskin, right? You're totally right. The boy's got some potential. He needs a right good run in the team. He's been unlucky with injuries. Now, who springs to mind? Kamer Roof, the best finisher at Ibrox when he was there, natural finisher. But they're no good to Southside sitting on the bench, sitting in the stands. They're no good to us. And this boy you're asking really, really needs to, when he comes back, is get in that team and make sure he plays every week and lets people know this jersey's mine. Because see if he gets injured again, people are just going, no, what? Just get short of this guy. Just let him go to Chelsea where he came in and said he wanted to go. That was the other thing I didn't like about Raskin when he came into a big club like Rangers. Oh, I'm here, but if Chelsea come calling him off, that's not the attitude with me. I mean, I want people to play for Rangers first and foremost. Now, getting back to him, injury prone. We need to get the boy back and we need to give him a run. You're right. He's got potential there. He's a great wee player. He's a wire runner. He reminds me, a wee Jack Russell type. He's at people's feet. He turns the ball quick. But his passing's his distribution and that's a wee bit mental at times. But look, I would give the boy another chance, right? I'm losing a bit of faith in the boy because he's injury prone, but when he gets back in that team, he really needs to hold on to that jersey, Southside. And you're talking about formations and stuff there, right? If you're asking me who I would rather have as your holding 6, as it is right now, I would rather have a big man Sterling still, for the simple reason is he's bigger, he's stronger, and he'll be able to corner kicks that, he's another big guy in the box to defend it. I know it's not just about corner kicks and stuff like that, I get that. And I get Raskin's a midfielder and Sterling's no, but it's just how it is. When Raskin comes back and he starts playing, who are you going to drop to put Raskin back in the team?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not saying I think for him to get a regular run in the team, we would need to play a 3. And I think if you had the 3, listen, you can. Everybody, there'll be people here shouting, "No, he's done. He's useless. He's like you said, injury prone." Right? Well, he wasn't really. He was injured. He came back. He had that hangmate and that boy for Ajax done him. So I'm just saying that you can see the qualities that he showed at times when he came in the first 6 months with Todd Cantwell. People were saying, "What we look, he's all the party. He wins tackles. He gets turners." Everybody would say the same thing. His passing was erratic, right? But apart from that, even in the game against them in the cup final, he was all the park only because he tired. And if he hadn't been booked, he would have done him in a half-by line probably. He probably should have done him anyway and just took the booking and maybe went up the park and scored. But he had no energy left probably that day. But listen, he made a difference to your midfield that day against them in that final. So I think if you got him fit, when he gets back, hopefully he can stay fit and he'll get a chance to go in the team. Where he alternates with one or two at times in games, I don't care, AK. But I think if we had day 3 playing as a 3, Sterling playing right back, making sure the defence is solid with the 2 centre-backs, I think in A3 getting about the midfield and going forward, Raskin can go forward, Barron can go forward and so can Diamonde. But in a 3, I think that would suit us perfect, AK.
I agree with you there, I agree with you. And when you're saying it like that, it does sound more reasonable than what we're doing, because at this moment in time, if nobody goes out and nobody comes in, Clement can't keep this formation. And the reason why is because we need a number 10 there for the system to work. And it's no working. It's no working with Lawrence. It's no working with Dowell. He's no giving McCausland a chance there. Scott Wright, nah, no chance. So he either needs to sit down and compromise with Cantwell and Hadji and go forward with it, or he needs to adapt and change his system. Think about it. When I was after listened in, heard my dad on about the system. Why does he persist with the 4-2-3-1? I said to my dad when I come back, I think it's because he doesn't trust the centre of his defence. So the 2 is there to protect your centre of defence. Gerrard did the 4-3-3, but with Hollander and Golson, who was a solid partnership at the back. So he was happy with the solidity of the back, but he was also happy with Ryan Jack, Kamara, Davies in midfield, and with Morelos, Kent and Arfield up top. It was an attacking formation, but we could also, Ryan Jack and Kamara were brilliant at picking the holes where Barisic and Tavernier were going forward. If we don't have the personnel to play the system that Clement wants us to play, he needs to adapt, because as it is now, it's no pretty in the eye. We're scraping by, but we can't keep going with this. So that's how I feel.
Aye, well, there's a few people on your YouTube feed saying Raskin out, no good and all that. Listen, he's maybe no set the heather in fire. He had a decent 6 months when Cantwell under Beale. And since then he's been plagued with injuries and stuff. And while he's there, I think he'll get games once he's fit. I think he'll rotate at times, but I think in a 4-3-3, I think it'd be perfect for us. Just because if he's fit, Barron's fit and firing, and you've got Diamande, I think that's a good 3 midfield, Stevie, and then he just takes away that Tom Lawrence in the 10 that we know isn't going to play week in, week out, and isn't got the pace and stuff. I think it would suit us better, especially in Scotland. We play the 4-3-3.
Southside, it sounds brilliant. It absolutely sounds brilliant, that team and that formation and everything else, but we need him back for injury. He's not good till he's injured. He needs to get back. He needs a run in the team and he needs to prove himself. This boy really needs to prove himself that he should be able to stay here and keep a jersey. He needs to prove it himself first and foremost. And the manager, the fans, he really does. The boys had chance after chance. He was a bit unlucky there with the Ajax injury, give him that. But he's no good to the stands collecting big money. Definitely no. I knew his wee pals away, wee Todd. Now Todd's away. That was his wee mucker. How's he coping with that? You just don't know what's going to happen. But the boys, he can only do it himself. He's got to show a bit of grit and determination and tell the manager, I'm staying here, I want that jersey, and fight to get his place back. But he needs to, once he gets in the team, mate, he needs to hold it down. 3 games and injured, or 4 games and injured, or whatever the situation is, it's not good for us anymore. We've been there, we've seen that movie. We're fed up with that movie.
I know, I get it, but what people have got to realise is at some point when we go to play in this Europa League, you can't be burning out somebody like Conor Barron if he's in the team week in, week out. He is a young boy. He will have dips in form, but he will come out. The manager will take him out. Same as you'll probably maybe even take Diamondi out from time to time, because we're going on to go a heavy schedule of games, and he will rotate players. So all I'm saying is, if he's fit, he doesn't get sold, or nobody comes in for him, and he gets fit, I think he'll have a part to play. It will be down to him to come in and make sure that he does well. And he is getting written off by a lot of people. But while he's there, and if he can come back fit, he has qualities and he has got legs. He can retrieve the ball. He's good in turnovers. He's good in the tackle. We've seen it. No often enough, but we've seen it. He can go forward. He can have shots at goal. So there's a player there. He just has to probably get fit, not get injured in games, and maybe he'll feature in some point this season, AK.
You make a lot of valid points there, mate, but as Stevie says, and I think you're intimating yourself, it's all down to his fitness. He needs to be comfortable within his own body. He needs to be available for selection. In the mere games he plays, he strikes up relationships with the likes of Conor Barron and Diamondi in that midfield. Listen, let's face it, it's a young, energetic midfield there. Maybe they need a bit of experience in there every now and again. I mean, Conor Barron get left out on Saturday there, but he came on and he helped to change the game. Big Dessers come on, helped to change the game, and McCausland come on and scored as well. So we have got options there, but I just don't like it the way that we're getting dictated to with the medical team and Clement coming out and saying that Tierney can only play an hour and all this. That's no good for the manager. It's no good going forward. So we need to sort out the issues behind the scene with the fitness. We all the players, not just certain individuals like we're asking, but no, there's definitely talent there we're asking for what I see.
Southside, there's no doubt at some point we're going to have to rotate. There's that many games in a season, and the longer you go in competitions, you're going to have to rotate, whether it's the defence, the forward line, or the midfield. So Raskin will get his chance, but when he does, he's got to hold on to it. He's got to keep it for at least 5, 6, 7 games, and get right in about it, and let's see what he can do, because as it is now, not a lot of bells out there have got faith in him. As you just said there, the YouTube's given it, he's done, and all the rest of it. That's the boy himself. It's done that himself. Nobody else. We all know he's a Belgian international. Well, under 21 international. We know he's got potential to kill a horse, but he's got to be on the park showing it. Not up in the stand or a treatment table.
I think he would have been if he hadn't took that injury at Ajax when the boy raked his studs right down the back of him, and pat him out. So it is what it is, and he does have to get himself fit first and foremost. And I think if he can get himself fit, which should be hopefully over the next few weeks, and he can get a chance to impress the manager, get back to training, and he'll be an asset to give a player a rest, because when this schedule comes, we don't want to be burning out the players. And as we said, the two in that, if he plays the two, they do a lot of running. And we've got league games coming up and stuff, and we will have to rest Conor Barron and Diamondi at times. No, probably two of them at the same time, but they will have to get turned out. And if you're turning them out, then you'll either want to have someone want Sterling in there. I'll hopefully be playing right back then for me. And you'll need to play Raskin, or else you'll be going back to a Kieran Dowell coming in there if he's still at the club. That's what it's about, So I think he'd be a good addition once he gets himself fit. I think he has got qualities, and it's just about getting himself fit, That's the way I see it, guys.
Aye.
There you go.
Outside, we agree with you. He has got qualities. He is a good player, but he needs to get his fitness. He needs to get back fitness, get the bit between his teeth. Now, I'm going to say something. See the young boy Barron? He's come into that Rangers team with fire in his belly, gale and determination. You can see he's wanting us to win. You can see he's playing. And you can see everything he's doing. And that's what I want. That's what I want. I want Todd Cantwell should look at that young boy and watch the way he's come into that team, kept his powder dry and Dary's talking on the part. The young man's been outstanding since he's come into the Rangers team. That you don't hear or on social media, a young boy or nothing. Todd Cantwell should take a leaf out of that guy's book. But as far as Raskin and that go, that'd be a great midfield. All young boys, Diamandi, young boy. You know, we get what you're saying and we agree with what you're saying, but it's down to Raskin himself to make sure he gets a level of fitness and he comes on and fights for that jersey.
See, when you've seen Alex Lowry, what he done the other night, the goals he scored, and by the way, I know everybody was raving about his first one. His second one was pretty good as well. The only thing, as I think I said it on here, AK, the other night actually, apart if you just take his attitude away at the moment, it's just worked right, I think, at times, but he's got a talent. Is it worth trying to persevere with him? Do you think the manager will? Do you think you'll give him any more chances? Because when he's playing, you can see he's got great vision, a great pass. He can score goals. I think you could even play him off the left at times rather than play him as a 10. But when you see what Tom Lawrence offers and what he brings at times and stuff, would it not be worth trying to give him another go?
Well, I don't know. That's no for me to answer. But for what I see, Lowry, I liked Lowry. I liked just there was something different about him. I thought he brought a spark to the team when he first got introduced into the team. He was willing to carry the ball. He was willing to do something different from what we had in the team already. But I think with the longer the time goes on and he's been shipped out to Hearts and they've sent him back, and you wonder why. There's obviously reasons there. We don't know the reasons. We're no privy to that information. But I think Lowry is too good for that level to play with the Rangers B team, but I don't think he's good enough to play with us. And I don't think Clement likes that sort of maverick player in his team, because it knackers his discipline in the team to hold their shape in certain roles. And sometimes you need one or two of them, but if you're talking about 4 or 5 of them that are just doing what they want, then that's just going to leave gaping holes all over the park and make us susceptible or vulnerable on the break. So future at Rangers, I don't think Lowry has got a future under Clement. I mean, if he's willing to get rid of Cantwell and get rid of Hadji, and you were talking Tavernier out the door at the start of the season, I think he's trying to rebuild there, but he's not been able to rebuild because he's not getting his own players in there, which is frustrating for him. But we need a total, rip it up and start again. See all the players that you're talking about, even young Barron. See when we take young Barron out of team and Dessers out of team, so you scratch the surface, what we've got underneath that, willing to come in and do a job for the team, it's no good enough. And that's the harsh reality of the matter for me. We need to get a total refresh of players, new players into the squad. So, no, Lowry is a no for me, I'm afraid.
Exclusive.
Aye, on you go.
It's 5-0 to the Rangers ladies tonight in the Women's League against who is it again? Queen's Park, is it? Aye. And it was Real Asia Howard opened the scoring with Chelsea Cornet, Brogan Hay, Rio Hardy and Cathy Hull. So 5-0 get into half time. Well done, the lassies.
Just up to half time, aye, that's great. I think they won 4-0 the other week there against Partick Thistle. So they seem to be doing well.
Talked about that, Southside. Can I give a wee shout out to my daughter, who was the the physio that helped to party Thistle lassie into the ambulance. Nearly over an hour they waited in an ambulance, an absolute disgrace. It was actually my daughter Alana, who's a physio at Hamilton and Partick Thistle ladies. So just a wee shout out to Alana. But the lassies are doing brilliant. They beat the Sheep 11-0 their first game, 4-0 with Thistle, and then they're 5-0 tonight at half time. So well done to the lassies.
Certainly know how to score goals, AK.
They certainly do. They could maybe take a couple of your strikers on board with them, let them know where the net is.
The Cinda Lassie Wilkinson, by the way, I'm not too sure if she was a Lioness, but she scored 2 hat-tricks back-to-back and she's been dropped tonight.
She was a big number 44 or something, wasn't she?
Oh, excellent. What?
Aye, some player, wasn't she? I seen her against Partick Thistle.
Powerful.
Was she no, Stevie, was she no razor sharp? Wilkinson.
Guaranteed to your money back. Remember the advert? Brilliant.
Oh dear. Right, that's the last.
Aye, as Saturday, Stevie, I hadn't spoke to you, but Rabbi Matondo, if he's still here in the squad on Saturday, would you expect him to start again after Saturday's performance?
Listen, the boys get one thing in the game you need, don't he? He's got pace. He just needs to be a wee bit more determined. He just needs to take every minute and fight and die as if it's the last game he's ever going to play and get there. He was excellent. There's no two ways about it. He was causing all sorts of grief. It was absolutely brilliant. And listen, if you play good, why should you get dropped by the team? If you're doing the business, why should you get dropped? If it's no broke, don't fix it. Is that what they say? Matondo played well on Saturday. No two ways about it.
Aye, he done seem to look. Was asked him, I think, a couple of times. We seen he was well. I mean, I remember a couple of times the ball was on the right hand side and it gets switched straight away. Matondo was standing and just over the halfway line, and they were definitely loads of times trying to get him 1-on-1 with the fullback. And let's be honest, he was going by him for pace, and he bought a couple of times he laid one good passes. It didn't result in a good finish, and a couple of times it was a final ball across that just let him down at times. AK.
A couple of goals. He should have had a couple of goals, right? Easy.
Aye, Matondo, aye, definitely. Aye, he could. I mean, Dessers laid him up for a great opportunity as well, didn't he? In the second half, so that could have been another assist for the big man. But Matondo's a funny one as well. He kind of flatters to deceive it a few times. Scored a great goal against Celtic at Ibrox last year where he cut inside onto his right foot and let a rasper away. But he's too inconsistent. I don't know if he's one of the guys that's on the list that he's been told to move on. And you just look at the team and you get that impression off of some of the players that they're just going through the motions. And I think that's where Connor Barn he's a shining light in the team. And Diamondi, it's no surprise that it's the new signings coming into the team and willing to burst a gut to impress the gaffer, to impress the crowd. They're the guys that's shining, and the other ones just look as if they're going through the motions. And I'm afraid to say it, the worst one of a lot of them in the Tavernier. I just think his head's no there at all.
I think it's like trying to rebuild the guy a wee bit. You can see he's lost that sort of yard of pace. He could be trying to get his fitness back. He did have, I think it was a hip problem or something, I think they alluded to in the summer, and rest and stuff. I don't know. He was back the day before pre-season, sort of in the building and all that, and he was in the gym and stuff. So he was, I thought, listen, he didn't do it near the summer. And he's had a pre-season, but although he possibly was still carrying that, maybe injury and needed rest time, he's in the state that he's in at the moment. And whether he's going to play, like I say, Alex, he'll probably play if the manager needs him until he can find probably either more cover in the midfield or Sterling goes in because of performance. But as Robbie Matondo's been here that long now, he's not had a lot of chances, and he's obviously no part of the manager's plans, because we wouldn't have went out and reinvested in Cortez if Robbie Matondo was going to be our main sort of left winger. I know Clement alluded he's played through the middle before. He's seen him doing it in Belgium, but I just think he's there, and I don't think he's in the manager's plans going forward. So I'm hoping that somebody will maybe come in for him. He has, like you say, he's got pace. I think he's very good trying to beat men in close quarters, but his pace can take him by. But he's just never done enough, Stevie, for me, that hopefully somebody maybe want him, take him. Might be an asset to their club, but for us, he's not an asset to us at the moment.
Oh, crazy money we paid for him. I remember the pre-season he came on and he scored an absolute bumper. I can't remember who it was against. Was it Madrid or something? I can't remember who it was against. But listen, there's games he just runs about like headless chicken. There's the end product, you know. And then there's other games you think, man, he was brilliant tonight. He gave them lots of problems. He just needs a bit of, I don't know, maybe confidence, a bit of guidance. He maybe need a bit of experience, and I don't know. I just don't get it with the boy. If somebody came in for him tomorrow, I would probably, it wouldn't bother me at all. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. Put it that way, Southside.
No, listen. However, when we signed him, we obviously seen potential in that AK, and he's no had mega runs in the team, and he always seems to get injured, and I still have that tackle in my mind of the two players, and I think it was Aberdeen, or something, and they just sort of looked like they collided. I thought they two came off worse than he did, and then suddenly, Matondo's out injured again. Listen, he's had wee flashes here and there. He did a couple of games in Europe where he came on even and had no a bad game, but unless he's going to get in the team consistently at the moment, now that he's getting a chance, then he has to prove that, first and foremost, if he wants a move, if he plays well, he gets his sell in the window.
Aye, there are ways to go about that move, though, isn't there? And what we are seeing now is not the right way. I mean, I just look at guys like Matondo, Ben Davies, Cantwell, Hadji, Kieran Dowell. They're all on big wages, you know, and they're not really featuring as often as what they should be for the wages that they're on. Clement's obviously no classed them as a first teamer. And I just think it's just trying to move these guys out the club. I mean, I seen the situation today in comparison a wee bit with Chelsea. They've got 42 first team players, too big a squad to work with. Pochettino couldn't work with that last year, and the new guy that's come in has already went, I'm not working with that, 22 maximum. So they've got 20 guys on well in excess of what we have got as a wage bill, but that's 20 guys that they can't move on. It's just the money's went round about the clubs, but it's went to the players rather than the actual clubs, and all the clubs are struggling to move these guys on. And classic example was Gareth Bale and Eden Hazard at Real Madrid. I know on another financial level, but they guys sat in the remaining years of their contract not giving a monkeys. They were taking in hundreds of £1,000s a week, millions on their contract. The two of them retire in their early 30s. And that's just the mindset of the player these days. It's all wrong. The powers went to the players rather than the clubs. And because of that, all these guys just sit in your club, drain your coffers, and leave a big financial hole when they walk away for nothing. I don't know how we fix it.
Well, we'll maybe see that in the second half, because it's going to get a tune time. So if you two guys would like to get yourselves in mute, we're going to have a tune.
Ever since I recall, I have followed football, and ingrained in my heart are the Rangers FC. Through good and the bad, times of happy or sad, it will always be Rangers for me. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. And I vowed to my dad, if I too have a lad, I will show him the way, as he did on that day. So now here I stand, with young Lyle by the hand, after walking down Paisley Road West. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand, down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. There's a great sense of pride that I feel deep inside when I'm watching the Giles with my father and son. And it's sure safe to say, at the end of the game, win or lose, we will all follow on. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand, down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand, down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. That beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Just before we do the second half, I'll do a wee a trivia question with you two guys, if you would like.
you get your thinking cap on, Stevie.
Okay, aye.
Right, now don't be doing the Google, right?
No,
right.
no.
It is, there might be one or two in it that might be a wee bit tricky, because it took us a wee while at the weekend when we were out. Somebody brought it up, and we went through some answers. I'm not going to tell you how many we got right, but I've got a number that we'll try and get to. So what I'm going to say is, if you can think of any Rangers player that is Scottish that played for Rangers and went to the continent to play after it, whether he went to Spain or Italy or France, whatever, right? Or was in that country playing for a club and then came to Rangers being Scottish.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
and the listeners, anybody out there, Facebook or YouTube or whatever.
what are you looking for?
Who?
How many are you looking for?
Well, we'll go for 3 at the moment, right? And if you get A3, maybe I should be able to add another 3 in there, right? We'll keep it going that way but we don't need to sit. You'll like to think about it while we're talking. And if you can think of any names, you can fling one in, and I'll tell you if you're right.
I can't multi.
You can't multitask.
You want me to talk and give you answers? I can't do that, man. No.
All right, well, me and you'll talk. We'll no fling it on you then. I'm sure Alec can multitask if you're struggling there.
I'm going to go for Big Boydie.
Yes, went and played in Turkey.
Graham Souness.
Well, come in, player manager, I suppose you can find that. And that wasn't actually one of the ones that we had. Nobody actually mentioned that. Which is no bad. But listen, there might be more. Listen, we only done it sitting in the pub and having a swally, and now and again we would think of something, we've got a number. But soon as wasn't mentioned that night, right? I'll give you that, right?
Can I ask
again? All right, what is it now?
Alec, I'll do one, you do one, right? That's the way it's went so far. You have said Boydie, you said Souness. I'm going to go for Kenny Miller.
Yes. Kenny Miller was there.
Over to you, Alex.
Oh, pressure. Alan McGregor. With the Turkey, didn't he?
Yep. They're the easy ones, I would think.
Right. But this is open for the listeners, I know. Contribute in the feed. Terry, you check the feed for us.
No, I see Pacers got one that you haven't said. He's in the YouTube chat, and that was one. Yep, Pacers right. So, but anyway, as we were talking, because there's still a few to get, so you can think. What we're talking about Clement building the team, and you're saying he wants his own players and he wants players to come in and play for him. Going forward, I think that's what you need, because we need to change the whole squad, and we need him working with a fresh squad that he's getting to build. And let's be honest, he's getting a chance to build a squad, and hopefully, Stevie, he gets it. I know we have to be successful. I get that. Right, he's got to win games of football, but should he be successful and win games of football, then he's getting the chance to really build this house, if you want to call it, from scratch, for demolition job, to where it should be, the big fancy shiny building of the house that you want, with all the glitter inside it that we're hoping for he's going to bring.
We need to give the guy time. We can't keep, I'll put it another way, we can't just keep sacking managers every time because we get beat with the dark side, do you know what I mean? And I mean, that's we've only got one team here in Scotland be better, you know what I mean? And that's why managers lose their job, because if you don't be better than them, then the fans don't accept that, you know? But we really, really get it, right? I'm not saying this year, if Clement goes without beating Celtic, we're all going to be happy. Definitely no. He needs to show a bit of something against them, at least at the home games anyway. You know what I mean? We can't get through another season where you don't beat them. No chance. Absolutely no chance. But we need to sack managers every year's no good either. We need to give the guy a chance. It's brick by brick, and we need to just... we just need to give him a chance. There's no other way round about it, Southside. You keep sacking her. We sack him at the end of this season, then another manager comes in, we start again, players go, and it just keeps going and going and going. What I can see is I'm getting a lot younger. I'm liking what I'm seeing, but you're wanting them to have see this. You want to see them playing a bit of football. You want to see what he's trying to do formation-wise and stuff. And as it is, it's not really coming off, even though we're doing no too bad. You know what I mean? When you
Sorry, mate, I'm just laughing. Sorry, see this for information purposes, right? I said he's Scottish. I'm sure Giovanni Van Bronckhorst and Gattuso and Arteta don't qualify. It's Scottish players. He's Scottish. Sorry, Stevie.
It's players that played for Rangers that are Scottish that went to Europe after they played for Rangers, or they played in Europe and then signed for Rangers. So Scottish players. So,
correct.
Right. So.
Anyway.
Whittaker.
Sorry?
Whittaker. I'm sure Whittaker went to a European team after Rangers, do you know?
See, after he done that interview, I couldn't care where he went, mate, if I'm perfectly honest. I wouldn't bring Whittaker or Naismith back for the half-time draw at Ibrox, believe it or no.
Listen, mate, I'm not mentioning anybody you don't like then. You've asked me a question. We played for Rangers Europe. Whittaker did, didn't he?
Do you think so? Right, I'll tell you what, I'll get the techie team going to it. Right, I'll let the techie team go into that one. Right, he wasn't on the list on Saturday. I know you flung that to me there. I know, but I'm not 100%. I'm not sure if he went out maybe on loan out there somewhere, but I'm not 100%. So I'll say no to him at the moment, but I might be wrong. But I'm sure the techie team could check it out, AK. They're not doing anything else, are there? There's nobody phoning in, like, so they're not that busy, are they?
Nah, I know. Aye, come on, phone in and give some answers if you. I'm going to name who should not be named. Mo Johnston.
Aye, you're correct. Aye. Listen, he annoys that mob across the city, actually, more. Would you not think so, Stevie?
One of the guys has got a court case against him.
So, aye, that's another one, sure is. But, aye, listen, I think as you look at these signings, I think you can see that Diamande will be a good player. I think he will have a good season this year. Connor Barron's looked good. Yefty, since he's come in and he's sort of cameo games and that, he's getting more game time now. He'll probably relied at left back, Stevie.
Aye.
So you can see he's got something about him. He's not scared to put a tackle in either. Hopefully we'll see Ignaman, we'll maybe talk about him. So for that and proper, he looks decent. He looks comfortable on the ball, two-footed. He's been decent in the air. He's took the ball, he's won the ball high up on the halfway line, up when the number 6 should be maybe sometimes, and won the ball in there and used it well. So I think he's looked decent as well. Tierney, once he gets up to fitness, you've seen the quality of him. I think if I'm honest, I think he's that bit more quality than what we've signed, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's that wee bit more finished article.
Right.
So I think you can see that for what he's bringing in when he's been gave the chance, he's added that bit of quality, I think, compared to if you look at other signings like we've spoke about. If you used Matondo against Cherny, for instance, you know what I mean? You can see he's a far better quality of player.
Aye, for me, aye. Apparently, aye. He should have scored a goal on Saturday. I know. See the way he cuts in for the wing? That's what we're wanting. That's dangerous, man. And he bends that ball, and he was a whisker away for up the net off again. So, aye, for me, Tierney's got a bit of quality about him. There's no two ways about it. And once he finds his feet, the way we play and settling into Scotland, all these things, all these wee ingredients, it'll make him a far better player too, mate. He has got a bit of quality about him, the boy Tierney, 100%. And Yefty as well, even though we've signed him as the left back, he's for his feet, just playing pushed up a bit. You know, he's good at crossing that ball, and he can tackle, as you said. Yeah, there's a few players that he signed that absolutely look no bad. They just need time, mate. Absolute time. But I've got to say, the pick of the bunch is a wee man. Connor Barron. He's been brilliant, man. He's been absolutely outstanding, man. I'm loving every minute of watching that young boy. I'll tell you that right now.
I think it's, as Stevie says, I think we relate to it straight away, AK, because it feels like I always look at players and I just get that, don't cheat me in a Rangers jersey. No, you're out there representing Glasgow Rangers. You're playing in front of the greatest fans in the world that support the club all over. You get to represent the club. It's a privilege to play for them. And as we ask as a support, it's just to go out and try your hardest and play your heart out and play for the jersey. I know football's changed now and players' attitudes, but that's all I think that's all I expect of them in a Rangers jersey.
Aye. You're right, and that's the least we should be expecting. I mean, I listen to the podcast with Charlie Miller and Derek Ferguson, and they speak about that quite openly. That's the least that you should be putting in, that 100% effort in that jersey. You're going out there, you're not just representing yourself, representing the club, you're representing the support, particularly hard games away from home and in Europe. You need that unity there between the synergy is what Clement calls it, between the support and the players. But you go out there and you give 110% effort, you'll not get many complaints. You might be limited in ability, but if you're giving 100% effort, nobody should be coming at you with, you just see players just going through motions, and that we can't accept. No for our club, no with the standards that we've got. We set high standards for reasons, because we're a winning club, or we were a winning club. We need to get that back. Willie Waddle speaks about it. He hopes that tradition never finishes, never ends at Rangers. It's all about winning and winning trophies, and we need to get back there. It's not just fed up talking about it. We're doing it year after year. It's proving it out in the park now, these players.
Right, Alec, you're fed up talking about it, so give us another player then, Scottish player, come on.
Richard Gough played in America, didn't he? And I see Fox has got one there. I don't know if you've seen it.
Fox flung an answer in.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Johnston.
Right. Yep, Willie Johnston, didn't he? Played in Vancouver.
Stephen Whittaker wasn't right anyway, because we sold him to Norwich, and I don't believe he went anywhere else. Like Europe.
Ian Ferguson, he went to Australia, didn't he?
Aye, he went to Australia, that's correct. Yep.
Anybody else? Well, while you two guys are thinking, we've got a man that thinks all the time just coming on the show. Smurf, how are you, pal?
No bad, mate. Lafferty. Did he not go to Italy after he left us?
He's no Scottish. Sorry to burst your bubble.
I missed that bit. All right, okay.
I know, because we've had Arteta and Van Bronckhorst, and I said it would have been easier. There's loads of players that went for Rangers and went and played in Europe. But
anyway, back to your half-time draw. I've got a question for you here.
Aye.
You mentioned they two, Whittaker and Naismith. You wouldn't have them back for a half-time draw.
I can't remember my team minute, but
no.
So that's what you're going to say. Who would I'd rather have had?
One of they two or Mo Johnson.
I would take Stephen Naismith, as much as I'm nearly choking saying it, because I thought Stephen Naismith, when he was there, was a good wee player for us. He gets stuck right. He's everything that Stevie talks about. We want, and Stevie, you answer it, mate. I think he's everything that you talk about.
We're talking about Stephen Naismith.
Aye, as a player when he was at Rangers.
Outstanding. Fight for the ball, argued for everything, argued with the ref, fought for everything, could score a goal. Listen, of course. But when you turn your back on the Bells, that's how it is. And you're totally right what you're saying. I wouldn't even have him in the building, never mind doing the half-time draw. But listen, can I give you another two players that I think, and I'm sure John McDonald, Drumchapel boy, went to Hong Kong Rangers, did you know?
Right, okay.
And Bobby Russell, no man. Did he not go there as well? Two of them bum chums.
Maybe, but they weren't on the list. There's a lot easier ones than them. Usually going to halfway around the world here. I was only talking about just going across the water here, though. France and Italy and Spain and maybe Belgium, whatever, though. Usually away into Hong Kong and Australia and America. Right. Sorry, Smurf, on you go, pal.
I've got to say, these sure Ulster Scots don't count.
No, that's a
I'll let Stevie answer that.
that's a technicality, Smurf. You know, we'll start with that. Carry on. No, we'll just. He's got to be Scottish.
So I can't say Jimmy Nick again, no. All right, fair enough.
No, but he's good patter.
Dear me.
How many is there Southside?
Well, I'll just say the Blue Barons got one correct as well on YouTube. It's another one you haven't mentioned.
Well, mention him.
I wanted to see if you could. Well, I'll tell you what. He was. He played in the first team.
Well, that narrows it.
Centre back. A few years back.
Dave McPherson.
No, just a few years back.
Big lad, no, it's
Young
not.
boy. He was a young boy.
David Bates.
Yes, David Bates.
He went to Hamburg, didn't he?
Yep.
Aye.
And you could go back to a midfield player in the 80s.
The 80s, a midfielder.
Yep.
Jim
I'll leave
Bett.
that way. Jim Bett, there you go, Smurf. Another one for you.
Well done, Smurfy boy.
That's
So
right.
there's a
How
few
many
there.
have we got left? How many have we got left?
Probably about another 3 or 4. 3. I can't remember how many we've done, but aye, there's probably about another 3 out there anyway.
Right,
Anyway,
what
Smurf, what you wanting to say while they two are trying to think, mate?
I was just coming on to say laughing at that was all.
Well, if you hang on a minute, Smurf, I think we've been joined by Bob Jer. How you doing, Bob Jer?
You have indeed. How you doing, pal? All right.
Good, mate. Aye, what would you like to say?
Oh, what I'd like to say loads of things. This is getting worse with the day. Well, maybe
What's that, the weather, Bob? Just the weather?
You can't say anything about the weather up here. Dear, man. It's like living in 2 winters. I was out with the dog there a quarter of an hour ago. It's teeming down. Anyway, not the weather. Any rumours for me? Anything you can tell me? Be anybody coming in? Anybody going out?
Nah, no. Well, there's Stevie. I think Stevie's watching the news.
Mm-hmm.
There's meant to be they're meant to be looking at 2 wingers in the creation left back.
Aye, I've seen that as well.
Aye, so 2 wingers, one for Benfica and one for somewhere else. I can't multitask, so I'm just talking off the top here. But what I can tell you is the Rangers ladies are 1-5-0 at half time.
Against who?
Queen's Park and the league.
Good for the Rangers women. I think I'll start supporting the women's team. No, I maybe do that already.
There is benefits, Bob Jer. There is benefits. Bob jerseys at the end of the game.
Aye.
Well, anyway, my team have been we're on Premier Sports 5:30 kickoff in the next round of the Cup, Smurf. That's great for support, isn't it? 5:30 kickoff.
Absolute disgrace. It's shocking, isn't it? Really, honestly. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It's just absolute disgrace. It's a shambles. Absolute shambles. People, how are you meant to get for your work? And I don't know. Bad for the game. And just bad for the product, isn't it? You know, it's another thing that's going to be in Premier Sports with half-empty stadium, you know. I think these sponsors have just cut their own throats, really.
Is the game on a Saturday, boys? It will be, yeah?
21st of September. Don't know. It'll be a Saturday, is it? It'll be a Saturday or a Sunday, but 5:30. It doesn't help, AK, does it? Probably, if we're not back in Ibrox, what I don't think we probably will be, being the week before. I think we were all hoping, or we had hopes it would be the Hibs game on the 28th. it would be a bonus if it was, but I don't think it will be. So it means the continuous card credit scheme's no up and running still. We all have to buy our tickets, AK, and it's given a lot of people scope to vote with their feet, basically, at times for these type of games.
Yeah, aye, you're right. And listen, whether you like it or whether you don't, the Rangers support does have that entitlement to stay away if they want to. But I think when they see the likes of the progress they're actually making in the Copeland, and don't forget the reasons why we're doing it. It's all about, to make it more comfortable for the disabled section in there, to improve the situation that the guys and women were sitting out in pouring wet rain, getting soaked and everything, and making it a miserable game experience for them. So don't lose sight of the reason why we were doing the improvements in the first place. Aye, it's been a mess, but there is light there at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully, supporters will come back to Hampden and get behind the team and get behind the cause, because without the support, the team have got zero chance of doing anything on the park.
Stevie, I think depending on the 5:30 thing and that, if it's a Saturday night, it will probably drop the crowd slightly. I think come Saturday, as we're talking about how the crowds fluctuated in the European night to the cup game there, I think come Saturday, I think we'll probably get closer to the 40,000 anyway, I think, this Saturday. Would you think?
Aye, the Bears will be back. Listen, we need to get the basics right. Scottish football hates itself to death. You've seen the way the fans have been treated. You've seen the way other clubs have cut Rangers' allocation, Hearts, Hibs. They're doing it all the time now. And then you look at their end and it's empty. It's just Scottish football hating itself to death. And it's all down to the guys that run our game. They sell it cheaply. They don't know how to promote it. When we had Stephen Gerrard there, world icon, they should have been bumping their gums up out and been manager in their league for one of their team. They didn't know how to promote it with Brendan Rodgers and everything else. They've no got a clue how to promote their team, the game. And although the TV money means a lot to everybody, it's ruining it for the fans. I mean, that time on a Saturday night or a Sunday, I mean, what good's that to anybody? I mean, it's just awful. Mind we used to play football at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Aye. Well, David Murray came out with a statement. I'll be back then, if you remember, when he said TV will kill football because they'll just put it on at all times. And remember, we had the 6:05 kickoffs on a Sunday. If you remember back to then.
I don't know.
I'll be honest, I quite liked him on a Sunday. No, at 6:05. I did myself.
Did we know a Friday night game as well? I seem to recall a kind of 6:30 game or something, or 7 o'clock.
I've watched Rangers at Ibrox every day of the week. I never thought I'd ever do that, but I've seen Rangers playing every day of the week at Ibrox.
The 25th is a Saturday at 5:30 p.m.
Right. So, like I say, Saturday night people could have things arranged. Is that? Well, it's the week before a September weekend, is it? Aye. But people might have things on, and you know what happens in about then, and probably because the CCS scheme is a choice, then, and it will be difficult for some people. People will just think, well, what's the point in applying? No, I don't need to take up my seat. So I think that crowd might be lower than what we'll see on Saturday. I expect Saturday to be a lot busier. It's 3 o'clock on a Saturday. It's no great, it's Ross County, but Smuff, do you think the team that he picks this week will be close to the team lines, or at least 8 or 9 of them that he's thinking for the following week?
Aye, well, he's not got his troubles to seek. So the strength and depth, he's pretty much got to go with what's tried and tested. And I think it'll more or less, as you say, the guts of the team he picks will be the team for the following week, 100%. Aye.
But Bob, do you think the same? Oh, sorry, on you go, Smurf.
I'm just hoping that I've come on here recently and been critical of the board and saying I want them out and all that, but see, really, you sit back, you take a bit of a condor moment, you think about it. You know, you've got John Bennett there. He's heading up, you know, a huge financial institution, and he's about to retire in September, and he's handing that over. And then he's going to obviously be retired and turn his full-time attention to Rangers. And what he's had to contend with, sacking people, getting rid of people that are failing, that are no up to. And he's got to be able to try and take the figures and make them work and make them sustainable. There's no choice. That's been forced upon them by UEFA. You can't just have rich benefactors funding, you know. And
fair play.
They've got to make it happen, and it's going to take about 3 years to get this rebalanced. And the last thing you need to be doing is to rock the boat. It's just going to be painful, and we're all going to need to suck it up. New boards, new chairmen, and new managers aren't going to do anything other than kick the can of success further down the road, and they're just going to need to suck it up until the good times come back. And they will come back, but we've got to go through this process. And disruption of any kind is just, as I say, going to kick that can further down the road. So you just need to stick with it, and where we are, we will not be there forever.
Well said, Smurf.
Aye, well said, too.
Yeah.
You've said your points at times about the board. I can remember when you've come on, Smurf, and sometimes probably yourself you felt valid in them. And listen, the board collectively, for Dougie Park, listen, we've got rid of about 6 or 7 that was on the board in the last 2 years or something. They've changed that. Dougie Park at the time made wrong decisions, but his heart's always been in the right place. He's a blue nose. He's a right Rangers man. Anybody that knows him will tell you that. Didn't like always speaking in public. It wasn't Dougie's thing. He speak in public. He didn't like it. But he's a right Rangers man. He's put a lot of his money into the club and helped us out on many occasions. And like others on the board have done, John Bennett now is probably coming in at a time where the board's made mistakes. There's been things done. Listen, I believe the whole Auckland Howie needs stripped out and all. We need to get some coaches in there that have got football knowledge and get them coaching, and we need to get a structure in there, and certain people who are in their positions need to come out. There's a lot of things to happen, and the board, Bennett will make the decisions. We've got a new CEO coming in, Stevie, so hopefully what his credentials and what he can bring will be an extra bonus to the board. He'll be the guy that will do the contracts and whatnot and be responsible for that. So we'll probably see maybe other people move out, and we might see some new people coming in. But at the end of the day, what matters to me and everybody on this panel and everybody out there is winning on the park. That's what we want. That's what we drive, and that's what we go to every week to watch Rangers, to see them do, is win. But we know there'll be some bumpy bits in the road, but we can't keep changing the managers, as we've said. And we've had CEOs, we've had 2 and 3, and we've had all this change. We need a bit of stability, and we just need to try and stick by it, and hopefully Clermont can get that team to be winning on the park, Stevie, and get players back fit to contribute to get winning on the park.
Yeah. Can I just say something to Smurf? Well done, Smurf, for saying that. I mean, you come on, you've hammered the board. You're now saying, look, see what you think about what's really going on, the bigger picture and that. So fair play to you for no backtracking, but for just stepping back, letting the dust settle and seeing what's actually happening. Because people don't.
You're emotional. You're emotional at the time, you know, and you're frustrated. But the reality is, this frustration is going to come again. It's going to come, you know, for every however many signings we make. Guys are going to get injured. Some guys are just not going to work out, and some will. The end of this financial sort of turn of this wheel, they're getting into, the Manx are getting into, you know, 8 Champions League games. So their profits are going to be worse than last year. But we know that. People's got to open their eyes. Next year, the Champions League, we don't have a direct entry into it. So whoever wins the league's got one qualifier. We get 3 qualifiers. We'll probably finish second. But either way, if Nania's get into we're parachuting into Europa League, and then that's an opportunity where you've got a wee bit of parity and you can start to reverse this. I think, it's going to take, it took Stevie G 3 years really to build a team, and it was Stevie G's team that went to the Europa League final. Although if he was managing it, I don't think he would have got there, because I think Gio was a better manager in Europe. I think he was more tactically aware. But it took 3 years and we get a European final to give the guy the time. And there was a game at Tynecastle. I thought he's going to get his jotters. I don't know if you remember that. We get beat at Tynecastle.
Cup game and the league game.
Aye, remember that? I thought he's off. But we held our nerves. And then look what we got out of it. So we've just got to hold our nerves. We've just got to suck it up. Staying away is not going to help us with these new sustainability and profitability rules. Go to fund the club and just stick with it and keep the faith, and it will all come good. It will come good, but it's just going to take time. And you can't look at John Bennett's pedigree. I've looked online and read about him and that, and studied it a bit. The guy's spinning a lot of plates. He's leaving behind a huge.
You're breaking up a wee. You're breaking up a wee bit, Smurf. You're coming in and out there.
Sorry, John Bennett's basically leaving behind a hugely successful career, and he's going to give us his undivided attention. And we should be appreciative of that, really, because people of that ilk are few and far between, and we're lucky we've got them. As I say, I've gave them dogs abuse at times. Well, not just him; they're just the board about. It's been a mess, but we've got to give the guy the time to fix it. It's as simple as that. Because all we're going to do is kick the can down the road.
Smart,
mate.
About saying things in frustration. I've actually flung pies away in frustration at games, believe it or not. So frustrated, I can see why you get frustrated, mate. I can think, mate, can I just give you the score from Broadwood? It's now the Rangers ladies 8, Queen's Park 0. Kirsty Howitt with another one. The Lassie Wilkinson's come on again and scored again, and the Lassie Berry. So 8-0 to the Berets.
Well done. Bob Ger, your thoughts on what Smurf was saying, and I'll come to you, Kay.
Smurf, I thought you were great, mate. That's one of the best speeches I've heard on the show. And I've phoned the show for quite a while now, a few years now. That was really good what you said. I agree with every single syllable, sir. Well done. I think the word, boys, that we're looking for, what I'm hearing, it's stability,
Yeah.
And we must all get behind the team. Everybody, I'm not an economics man, I'm a football man, but get behind the team, and get behind the board. They're striving and all. They're striving to keep the club afloat. Us as supporters, all right, I mean, I didn't get up as a regular enemy here, I'm getting older, but us as supporters must get behind the team, get behind the manager, didn't sack the manager, didn't rip up the squad, we can't afford that. I'm hearing rumours for these nice people that stand beside you in the pub now and again say, oh, you have gone into your administration again. And I say to them, be careful what you wish for. I said, when Rangers were out down the lower leagues, you were all dying a slow death. I said, you might die a quicker death if that happens again, but there's only one problem, that'll not happen again. I said, Rangers will be back, bigger and stronger. Believe me, they will. And we've got to believe that, boys. And it will happen. It's a wee bit of a rough time now. We're losing everything. To me, well, I don't want to use a word like mediocre, but there's not much better than that, than a mediocre Celtic team. We've beat better Celtic teams than that. And we'll get stronger again, and the good times will return. That's a guaranteed certainty, because a club the magnitude of Rangers demands it. It's got to happen, and it will happen.
It's just about stability, and stability brings strength, as your old man would tell you. That's what we need to do. It's just about keeping the faith. We all get emotional, as Smurf says. Stevie says it. We all do. Listen, when you go to the games and you're turning up, or you go into a away game, you sacrifice getting up, whatever it takes to go and get there that day, go to watch the team that you love, and you're fortunate enough that you can go to the game. And at the end of the day, when that 90 minutes is done, all I want to know is we've won the 3 points and we've won the game. You want to play well, but the most important thing is the Rangers win. And that's what it's always been about, because that's what the story is. It's win, win, win when you come to this club. You can't be second best. You don't have all the trophies in the cabinet for being second best, AK.
Absolutely. And we need to get that mentality back to the club. Well said, by the way, Smurf. I'm totally on board with everything you said. That's what we've been saying here for a wee while now. You know, that we can all moan, we can all shout, we can all ask for the manager to get sacked, board members to get sacked, players aren't good enough. But at the end of the day, you've got to try and understand the constraints of how the club are operating. And we've never been through this before. I would suggest that Clement has got a harder job in his hands just now than what Steven Gerrard did when he came into the club, because Steven Gerrard was afforded money. I think about 40 odd million over 7 transfer windows, just to get rid of all the dross that Caixinha brought in. But he had Alan McGregor there, he had Morelos there, he had Tavernier there, he had Ryan Jack there. He had a wee bit of a spine in the team, sort of thing. He improved it year on year, and you've seen it in the performances on the park. Eventually, we got the win against Celtic when Ryan Jack scored 1-0, and then we go to Celtic Park and we beat them there. And that's what Clement's got to do to prove himself to the support. When Gerrard left the club, we've had Gio, we've had Beale, we've now had Clement. You're lucky if we've had 1 or 2 victories in all the matches that we've played for Gerrard left the club. That's not good enough for our club. People were accusing you of being a happy clap or a cheerleader. You settle for second best. No, we don't. We care. I'm away there on holiday and I'm 24/7. I'm still looking at Rangers platforms. I'm still listening to Rangers platforms and podcasts. And it just that you live and breathe the club. But we're trying to get back to where we think we should be. It's not been good enough, but we need to stick with Clement, in my opinion, to get there.
100%. And I think, and you see the constraints that every club in Europe's reacting to this now. You're getting new things. It used to be you'd loan with an option to buy, and clubs that are taking players on loan, they want a loan with an option to buy. The clubs that are loaning players, they want them to go on loan with an obligation to buy. That's a new thing. And this is all reactive to getting rid of players off their books that they don't want because they can't afford, because they've all got to balance their books according to these new financial regulations. Things have changed and nobody's escaping it. And I'll tell you another thing we need to call out, the SFA and the SPFL. See this nonsense with the leagues that we've got, these 10-team leagues and 12-team leagues and all the rest there. We now need them to govern for the good and benefit of all 42 teams. So you need the leagues as strong as possible. You can't have Dundee in one league and Dundee United in another. The country needs the derbies. And the more teams that can get games against the Old Firm, it makes these wee smaller teams, as we've seen when we had to go down the leagues, it keeps them alive, it keeps them going, and they're a breeding ground for young players. You get guys like young Leon King and that, and they can't develop. There's no reserve league. There's no scope to develop. So he'd be better off at a much smaller Scottish club and get 100 games under his belt. Do you know what I mean? I never saw the guy.
I would say it'd be better going to League One, to be honest, or even the Championship. Probably Championship. If you play any of our players that we're going to go and give out and loan, Smurf, I think you've got to give them a place where the team play football. I thought we spoke about it. I spoke with my mate. We spoke pals and all that. We spoke, and one of the couple of the boys come up with a solution. Right, see, as we're doing a structure of the club, right? Should we if we're saying we could get a couple of footballing people on the board, or the club is say, this is your structure, this is how we're going to play football, right? We're going to be a passing team, but we'll be a 4-3-3 or whatever. Whatever structure we've put in place as a club, then we go out and get that manager. And when we get rid of the manager or the manager moves on, we don't change our structure of how we play football. We get a manager in that plays that style of football. Then bringing somebody in that wants to play a long ball, or somebody wants to play two inverted tens, one wants to play this 4-2-3-1. When we could just be a 4-3-3 team or a 4-4-2 team, and that's the way we play. And we play a certain system, and it's drummed into the managers when they come in. And if it's a successful formula, it should work, rather than bring in managers all the time and the structure's totally changed every single time. Any agree on that, Stevie?
I don't know, mate. I really don't know. You said it earlier on. What stems from Murray Park for me? You know, to bring these boys through, you need a good structure, and I don't think we've got a good structure. I think we mollycoddle these boys. I think they get everything they want far too easy. They're thousandaires far too easy. They're pampered. They're like Fulham stars. They don't know what it is to go and clean the stands, brush the boots, do the dirty side of the game. They're pampered. And I just think that's how we don't see a lot of results. But as far as football, did we know already to put the B team into, what was it, the Lower Scottish League?
They played in the Lowland League a couple of seasons ago.
Well, is that no better for them? That's them playing against men, let's be honest. That's a young...
Ross McCausland played a season in that league, and then they committed and played best v best. You'd probably be as well introduce them into the bottom of the Scottish League and let them play, what is it, Division 2, is it? I don't know, is it Division 2 or something? And then you could play your B team and maybe play a couple of overage players that are coming back for injury. And probably some of the other Scottish clubs could probably they've all got B teams, so why not try and put them in and let them play up the leagues? Then you're getting, you'll kick and rush some of them, but if you're trying to play football, you should just beat these teams in. But then, is that beneficial? It'll be more competitive than what they're playing now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they played against, who was it, the English side down the road there. It's just bounce games. It
played Middlesbrough and Derby, I think.
No, they played somebody during the week. They get beat 6-2. I can't remember who it was. But anyway, the games mean nothing. They're just going to that country. We'll play them and we'll go here and play there. It means nothing. At least when they were in that team, they were playing for 3 points. They were playing every week to win something. You know what I mean? It was competitive. They were playing up against men in the Scottish game where it's hard tackling. And if they can survive that, then there'll be a chance that they're going to survive the Premier League.
Aye, you go, Bob J.
One of the hideous mistakes the SFA made was scrapping the Reserve League. Definitely. I mean, the Reserve League in its heyday, I mean, you could go along and there was a fair crowd there as well, and you could see the young blood that was coming through. But how you distribute the young blood through the leagues now, I don't know, it's anybody's business. I've tried, like the Lowland leagues and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not a football, I'm not an expert or a coach, but I didn't think it works. To me, you'd be better bringing back the Reserve League. You could put first team players in there and all if they've got carrying an injury for to get fit, or to bring them up to the fitness level to play in the first team. But I think it was a horrendous mistake scrapping the Reserve League. I really do. Like you say, like the lad said there, they were playing competitive football every week. These laddies aren't they? They're turning out, okay, I'm playing for Rangers against, I don't know, these lower league teams. against Auchinleck Talbot or something. To me, it doesn't work. It does not work at all.
I think you've got
The
to.
question is, it's got to be restructured. I think so.
I think you've got
the
to
whole
put them
thing's
into
got to
the.
be restructured.
I think you've got to put them into the bottom of the Scottish football and let them try and work their way up. And if you're playing, if Bailey Rice had been playing a full season in there with Alex Lowry, and you've got Cole McKinnon, you've got Adam Devine, or is it beneficial to try and get them out on loan? Adam Devine going out to Motherwell, try and get them out to some Scottish clubs, see if we can get a player out to St Johnstone, or see if we can get a player out to Hibs or Hearts, where we had Lowry before. AK, but either or, we want to see one or two of them in the first team. So if we're not going to get down the road, AK, would you think the club should think we're going to play a structure here? This is how we play football. This is your identity. We buy players to play this system, and now we've got the manager. So once that manager leaves, we look to get a manager who will play that system, or we don't take him. Because if it's successful, it should work.
I agree with your thought process. You need a pathway between the academy to reach the first team, and it's all about the kind of coaching and the formations and the style of play. What they're looking for, that the first team play, you develop it in the kind of academies and that. So in essence, putting players out on loan isn't really beneficial for us long term, apart from obviously the development of the player to go and get used to the competitive games, because they're not playing competitive games. All these arranged friendly things, they're not good for the development of them, and they're certainly no progressing the development of the players to get to the first team, because there's not enough of them. We're not seeing any of them coming through. I'm with Bob Ger there. As I say, I listen a lot to Derek Ferguson, Ian Durant, Charlie Miller. They spoke highly about the development of playing alongside a Tam Forsyth and Alec MacDonald. You'd Colin Steen coaching, you'd Tommy McLean, guys coming to the end of their career, but they learned so much off them, just playing alongside them, and the guys guided them through a game. The youngsters don't have that when they're playing with their pals. Albert says it's like a kind of Sunday school team that they play with. They're all good at cooking and getting used to themselves, but they're not developing as a team. So, but you look at Liverpool, you look at Barcelona, even England International, where they've got that kind of process where the development for the under-16s, under-18s, 21s to the first team, and they've all the coaches are on the same page basically, and that's possibly a way to look at it. But Gerrard's seen all this, tried to rip it up, start again, and for he's left, it's just been forgot about. It's been neglected, and I think Lamont has got to look at that process as well.
Smurf, your thoughts on?
I've set these all off in a tangent. I think that wasn't really my point. I wasn't really getting a solution. I was just trying to. The premise of my point was that essentially the game needs to be looked at and the leagues optimised so we can generate the best product we can without looking externally to TV money and all that. For the benefit of the game and the country. But in terms of a reserve league, I mean, you look at the problems we've got trying to get guys coming back from injury fit again. You're having bounce games and that. These guys could be getting minutes in the reserve game. And they're going to, and playing with these guys, the youngsters are going to, it's going to be an education in itself. And because we don't have a competitive reserve league or competitive football for youth teams, we've got 22-year-olds that we we refer to as youngsters as kids. And you know what? They are kids. They're no men. They're not developing into men. And to develop into a man, you need to be in the company of men. You need to learn from men to become a man. And all the others, just we They're wee boys going into school, and their coaches are like school teachers. And they're just perennial wains. They're no men. That's why they can't take responsibility. They can't make a step. And it's self-evident. Look at that boy, he's come from Brazil. And then he's went away out to Cyprus. And then he's went to Cyprus, he's in Glasgow. And he's only 20. He's that.
You have to, the thing is, well, as you say, they're no men. At 2021, you'd like to think they're going to be first-team Rangers players, because Barcelona's playing 3 17-year-olds the other night. 3 17-year-olds. And we'll no hardly put a 17-year-old on the park and take a chance and try and, if he's a talent, and try and, because we're playing a 2-team league, a lot of teams defend, and you've seen the amount of players that were brought in the past. A couple of them have come in and got absolutely walloped straight away. Remember the bloke going against Motherwell? Aki Shonde, I can't remember his name. He was wee winger. Anyway, he'd been playing well for the reserves, going against Motherwell. I think it was when Gerrard was there. He went down the wing once, and the big Motherwell player came off and hoofed him right onto the side of the park at the East Enclosure, and that was him out for weeks. One tackle took him right out of the game. You know, but we've got to try and get our young players into the team, as we spoke about. It saves us money. And early years, you can go back to Walter and everybody before that. We were up, and Souness came in, we just bought our way. We've just bought our way all the time. And we've bought the Raskins, and we've bought the Matondos, and we've bought Lammers and all that. When some people say, well, why do you not give Lowry a chance? Look at the talent you've got there. He's got everything that you actually want as a football player. You need to get it out of the boy. Does he need an arm round him? Does he just need more help? You need to go in and play in a team that's got more experience round about him. And that's what we're lacking now, Stevie. So there's a talent there, and just him, as I've just named, it's about giving him the chance. And he might make mistakes. He has made mistakes. Maybe he's done attitudes not been right. He had a big change in his life. So is he worth another chance?
Gotta know. Don't ask me. I don't like being negative, man. I really don't know. Is somebody coming on now?
No, I think we're going to be shutting up, actually. We're just about at time. So I'll come to you first, Smurf, for your last words, mate, and thanks very much for phoning in tonight. I appreciate it.
No, just what I was saying. I just implore everybody to just accept where we are. We're in a state of flux. It shows the whole of European football. It's only the upper echelons that are not feeling this, and we've just got to accept it. Go with it. We need to make the changes we need to change and go forward and just keep the faith.
Right, keep the faith, mate. Right, thanks very much, mate, for phoning in. Bob Jar.
Aye, there's a lot of great points made tonight. Excellent to listen to as usual. Your trick question was a Scottish player that played for Rangers and played abroad.
Yes, in Europe,
right. Aye, Kenny Miller.
Aye, he was named. Ali actually mentioned one in his wee conversation. He was talking back there about players playing with in the reserves and that. I'll give them the other two since they're struggling before we go.
Charlie Miller.
Charlie Miller, yep.
He did, didn't he? I forgot about that.
Aye.
And there's one other one. He wasn't the best looking guy, I'll give him that.
That's not
was that?
David Dodds?
David Dodds, aye. Aye. So, anyway, Bob Jar, thanks for phoning in tonight, mate. I appreciate it as always.
An absolute privilege. Thank you very much indeed, boys. Good night now.
Right, good night. AK.
Good show, pal. Good show. Thanks to Bob Jar and Smurf coming in. Thanks to yourself, Big Stevie, and the techie boys there. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Thank you again.
Stevie.
Just give you a wee update in the Lassies game. It finished 9-0 at Broadwood. A wee on goal in the 95th minute made it 9-0. So well done, the Lassies. But thanks for having us. Brilliant platform. good to hear the boys coming on tonight. It was good to hear Smurf. Look, I've done it. I've said things in anger, and I've had to come back on and retract it and say, look, I lost the battle there. I won the battle there to lose the war. So it's good to hear a guy coming on and saying maybe go to Rangs, you look at the bigger picture. But listen, I can see why a lot of people get angry in that. But it is what it is. We're all Bears. We just need to dig our heels and support the team. So thanks again, and well done hosting tonight's Outsides. Were excellent, mate.
Well, thanks very much, mate. I'm looking forward to you looking back in anger when Tav's no playing on Saturday, and we'll share that. I'll get my liter and a half of vodka. But no, seriously, I'd like to thank you and Alec for helping us tonight. Much appreciated. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I'd like to thank Smurf and Bob Jer for phoning in, and everybody out there that's been listening to the show tonight. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. as usual for 2 hours of madness. I don't know who's on, but somebody will be on. So apart from that, it's all about supporting the Rangers and sticking together and being united. So hopefully going forward, we'll get the 3 points on Saturday that will take us on to the next game, and we'll look to get the next 3 points. So as always, there's only one team, one crown. Take it away, Foxy boy.